Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm really sorry about the sound of my voice. I've got really bad, I've got a chest infection, so I've got a drink next to me in case of emergencies. But I wanted to get this video out to you because I practiced last night and I love how it's turned out. So what I thought we'd do is a flip through of this gorgeous book, and I've looked on YouTube. And apart from the creators, there's nobody's really picked up on it, and it's so wonderful. So this is Mandalas Gone Wild by Dino Tomic, and it's from the Chameleon collection. It's called the Poster Colouring Book, and it's hardback and spiral bound, as you'll see. Very thick, good cardstock inside this book. It measures 25, I do believe, 22 by 25 centimetres. So if I use a Kirby book to give you some kind of perspective and put this on top, it's just shy of Kirby's book with the spiral bound. So you're just about an inch off Kirby's page size. So if we look on the back, they're all the mandalas that you get in here, and they're 8 by 10 it says, and there's 20 images. I won't go through all of this, but because it's probably just easier to show you and talk through as we do it. So as you open the, let me just move, I've got all my stuff out ready and I don't want to destroy my little setup. Here we go. So as you open the book, part of the hardback cover tells you about Dino Tomic, I hope I'm saying that right, and where you can follow him on Instagram. I will put the links down below. And then on this page, we're going to get a glossy, coloured example of each of the mandalas in there. They are using Chameleon pens in their demonstrations. So for each of these you get the Instagram that you can follow the person that has created this gorgeous picture. And I'm interested, we're going to do this gorgeous octopus together. And I did look up Craig Deeks, I think it is, or yeah, and there's only one image on there and it's not this. So, but I don't know about the others yet because I'll work through this book bit by bit. Here are all the beautiful images and just give you some inspiration. I did try to recreate, when I did my practice, I'll show you in a minute when we get to the page, I did try to recreate this gorgeous octopus because he's just lovely. So here we are, and that's your 20 images. Then we move to what is very special about this book is you've got a tabbed piece of paper, and on it says, this page is I'll start again. This page is purposely left blank for you. It will protect your coloured pages and works great as a test area for your colours. Enjoy your journey. Isn't that lovely? So each image has one of these behind. Bit thick, well, thicker than Amazon paper, but I would still not trust it. I'd still want, if you were using markers, I'd still want more paper behind. Then we come to the actual images themselves, which are fantastic. It is on extremely thick card. I wouldn't even, oh sorry, I've got the piece of paper there, hang on. Extremely thick card, which is perforated, ready for you to frame, and being 8 by 10, it's going to be perfect fit for any frames that you might find out there. Excuse me. So each of those pages has this little tab. So I'm just going to do a flip through quickly, she says, of each of the images. Love this one too. But I'm butterflied out after my Kanoko Agusa butterfly page. But isn't he cute? Look at his eyes. And I'm not really going to be fussed about pulling the detail out in the background. I'm going to ink or paint the background because I'm sure this card will take it. This is the image that I fell in love with immediately as soon as I opened this book. So I photocopied it because I didn't want to fluff it up, and this is what I came up with. So this is my version. I hope the colours are showing up on that. And I used inks and Prismacolors. So I was really pleased with how he came out. Obviously it's a practice sheet. I cut this little bit out because I messed it up, but that was I was practicing blending, but I thought actually I better keep this so that when we do our colour along we've got it there. So yeah, so that was me playing about last night. Let's carry on looking at these beautiful images. So we've got a wolf. It's quite hard because you expect that, it's quite hard to turn them because you expect that to be several pages, it's that thick. He is gorgeous, I love him. Isn't he wonderful? There's so many beautiful images. Love this too, the bat. It'd be a good Halloween one, Halloween with a difference. Love this. Love owls. It's their eyes, I think. A little chimp. Some kind of deer. Gorgeous little hedgehog. I love him, he's lovely. I'm going to say he's yawning. I'm not going to say he's about to attack. A yawning bear before he goes into hibernation, let's say that. Isn't he cute? Love it. This one's more of line art, but like quite a fearsome looking wolf. Beautiful wolf. Elephant. That's lovely too, isn't it? If you want to pick all those details out, you could with excuse me, with gel pen. A ram. Gorgeous, I think it's a cobra. And a crab. And a moth, I would say, because his furry antenna. And that brings us to the back. That was just, I was just practicing with the paper to see what the inks would work like. And then, sorry, I do apologise. They recommend the Chameleon pens to use and pencils. And after seeing the wonderful work, and I will link the channel down below, there is a, I don't know how long it is without pressing play, a short speed colouring of the Octopus that we're going to do with alcohol pens. And I did try it with alcohol pens, but it just didn't look as effective as I'd managed to get this one. So what I'm going to do is get all my inks ready, the pencils ready, then we're going to come back and we are going to do a colour along together. I'll see you in a second. Right, so I'm all set up. Again, excuse my voice. And we are going to start inking the background. So I just pray this turns out. I have photocopied it in case I fluff it up or I want to colour it again. So I'm going to start with Distressed Ink Peeled Paint. And I have got my little plastic inking mat by the side of me. So I'm just going to take my little, these are called mini blending tools by Ranger, and I really enjoy using them. And I'm just going to, what I'm doing is just putting a little bit on the mat so that I'm making, this is a clear plastic blending mat. They're in my wish list if you want to go over and have a look, so you know they're not expensive, it's about £5 for a little set. And I'm going to start just bringing this peeled paint down and around into this open space. I'm just using light strokes, and once you get some ink down and then that first coat dries, it's much easier to go back over. That's what I found anyway. It kind of coats the paper. Okay. So any harsh blending lines that we've got will go. Then I'm going to take the gorgeous salvaged patina, and we're going to do the same. So I'm inking my little tool up, I'm just dabbing it on the pad, and then I'm using my inking mat just to take off any excess that might blotch, and I'm going to overlap those two and start bringing that in. Now it's going to look incredibly bright to start with, but it will lessen down. And I'm just following the shape of his body and bringing that round. And the beauty of using that blending mat down by the side of us means I can go back in and pick that little bit of ink up that's extra on my mat. And then I'm going to let that bit dry. Let's do another piece together. It looks incredibly bright on camera at the moment, but it does lessen. So I'm going to go in here. So this is our peeled paint, using my mat by the side of me. If I move over just slightly, you should be able to see just that little blotch there, and it just takes that harshness away. So I'm just bringing that round carefully into that side of his tentacles. And then just let it use up the ink that I've got, because we'll go back over it once it's dry, and then it will just blend seamlessly and beautifully. It's lovely. Again, back in with the salvage patina, dabbing it on my mat, just making sure I haven't got too much, and then we'll come in with that. I can already see that this one's lightening. And this is incredible paper, so it might just take a little while longer to dry. Okay, I'm going to ink it up, go on my mat. And already I can feel, when I go back in over the top of that peeled paint, the inking is so much easier. Okay, so that's it. That's all I'm going to do around the background, and then I'm going to use up what's on my left on my little tool to bring it out very lightly. There. Okay, I'm going to go off and finish the background exactly as I've just shown you, just following round, following the shapes that we've been given and blending those two colours, and I'll be back shortly. Right, so I finished the background, and that will continue to dry and lighten up. It looks really intense on camera, but that's lovely. Okay, we're going to have a look at the octopus himself. Now, we've got some very dark patches here, and we are going to bring in the gorgeous chipped sapphire. Okay, and again, we're going to use the little blending tool. So I'm going to open my chipped sapphire. I'm just going to make sure I've got ink on my tool. And I'm just putting it, this is my plastic mat, and I'm just dabbing it on there. It takes off any excess, but it means we can reuse it instead of wasting it on a piece of paper. So I'm just going to come in where these really dark bits are and start to bring in this gorgeous chipped sapphire colour. and then just let it lessen out as we come away from that very dark patch, because then we'll be able to blend in our next colour to it. And again, that'll dry lighter, but that's okay. Need a bit more in there. There we go. So I can use what's on my mat, if you can see. Use what's on the mat, pick that up, and we're going to come round his head. And I'm just going in very lightly, and we're just going to let that colour build up, because I don't want to overwhelm him. I just want it round the edge of his head here. And we are going to use pencil over the top, like we did in the mouse guard picture. Okay, we're going to do up round his eye here. Like that. Going to get some more on my mat. I'm just loving the inky life, folks. Just really enjoying it. And then there's pictures that I'm looking at that, just like this, that really lend themselves to ink. There's a lot in here that we can do with watercolours because the paper's so magic. But this one, although the link I've put in the description box shows you with alcohol markers, which you might enjoy, I tried it, like I say, and this just looked so effective with the inks. Do excuse me. Okay, so I'm bringing that out. Bit like we do with pencils, in those really dark ink spots, I'm pushing a little harder to get more ink off, and then just lessening the pressure as we come out, so that we've got blending, like we do with pencil. We've got our space to blend. Bring that dark up there a little bit. Isn't that the most fantastical colour? Just stunning. Okay. I don't know why I haven't used my mat, my blending mat before. I've had it for a long time. I use it underneath colouring pages to stop indents on the page going through or wet media leaking. But while I was practicing this last night, I just decided I was going to put some on the mat and see what would happen. And it works so well. Hence the name. Blending mat. Oh dear. So yeah, it's been a bit of a rough couple of days. I know I said in my last video that I had a bad chest, but what I'm doing, sorry, is I'm just picking out all the dark areas and then just flicking that colour in. Yeah, I know I said I had a bad chest, but it's just kind of gone from bad to worse. I've made my throat sore with the coughing that I've been doing. It's just a pleasure. It's just a riot of fun, people. So I'm just following where all those dark lines are. I think we've covered that pretty much. Need a bit down here. Okay, so that was chipped sapphire. The next colour that I'm going to bring in is the gorgeous, if I can get it to focus for you, cracked pistachio. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Throwing my tools about. Where is it? I've got the wrong tool. Hang on, I've got mine numbered, as you can see. I've just written on them so that the ink builds up and it makes them easier to use, apparently. So, cracked pistachio is, sorry folks, Why can't I find it? Oh. There it is, right in front of me. Ink pad 52. I think I was using the wrong one, but never mind. Right, ink pad 52. As I said, cracked pistachio. Sorry about that, folks. I think it's just because I'm not entirely with it today. So I'm just getting enough of my little tool, then putting it on my mat, just blotting off any extra that would give us clumpy marks. And then I'm going to go over the blue and bring that down. Come up round his eye. As the ink runs out on the little tool, I just use that to push and blend that colour out. There we go. So it gets rid of that harsh edge. And that will dry much lighter too. I know it looks pretty scary at the moment, but it will dry a lot lighter. And we're going to do that in all the areas that we put that chipped sapphire, and blend those two in together. Miss that bit. Isn't that cool? Let me see if I've got enough on my pad just to do that bit. There we go. That was lucky. So I'm just blending those two in together and pulling it out. Some more. It's a bit of sea I've missed there. I'll fill that in a little while. Some of these ink tools are better than others. This one's not so great, it's not centred. I might have to change this one because I think this is going to be a favourite colour. So I hope you're enjoying my, I'm just going to smush it on the mat actually, inky adventures. So bring that out this side a little bit more. Okay. I'll tell you what did arrive today was my card making kit. So I'm quite excited about that. And a few of you have said, yes please Lucy, let's do me bumbling my way through trying to make a card. So I will try and put that together for you as well. And then I have had the most gorgeous, thoughtful Happy Mail has come to me, which I'm very excited to show you. I'm just waiting on another book, and then I'll do that one. And then I'm off on holiday the following week. Yeah, I think this sponge has pretty much had it. It's not even centralised. It's a pain because these are all new. Anyway, yeah, off on holidays, so we'll do I'm hoping that we will do a little caravan tour, my little touring caravan, and we're going to do, I've got Rita Berman's new book's going to be delivered to me on holiday, because hey, we can't miss out on that, can we? Like, we all know and love Rita Berman, it's got to be done. Okay, so then I'm inking around here. And once you've got ink on your page and you go back over it, it's so much easier. So many areas that I've kind of left, do a little bit around there. Excuse me, I do apologise. Let me just get a sip of drink. Oh, much better. Okay, now we're going to bring in, this is an incredible colour, Tumbled Glass. I watched Karen Zucchini Kitty do she did a little haul of inks that she had got and was swatching them out. And I actually commented on her video saying, do you know, how amazing would it be if Tim Holt brought out some pencils? Could you imagine? It would just be incredible, I'm sure, because his quality of his products are just incredible. So we're going to bring in Tumbled Glass. Again, I've got another NAF tool. Let me just get enough ink on it. And this dries a beautiful, very pale blue. So we're going to bring that in. And I'm going to fill up the tentacles with this. There we go. Ooh, it's raining. I'm not sure that wasn't lightning then, so we might get a good storm on camera too. That would be nice. So I'm just filling it all up. We'll get back and fill that in, that's going to annoy me that little bit. I wonder if I've got enough on my ink pad, otherwise it's going to end up being blue. There we go. A bit more down here. I'm just going back over that to reduce that splotchiness that we had there. Fill up some of that tentacle. And then there's just one more colour to add in. A little bit more. There, it's looking sweet. Not fearsome at all. Okay, and our last colour that we're going to add in is Kitsch Flamingo. And I'm just checking that I've got the right tool, which I do. So we're using Kitsch Flamingo. Beautiful, gorgeous colour. And with the blues, this is going to blend and make a really sort of unique lilac colour. So I'm just taking it up off my mat, and we're going to put some in around his little eye. Push that up. We're going to give some up here, and we're just going to put this in some sort of, in the spaces that I've left lighter, and random areas really, just sort of blend that in. I have to let that dry, so it won't take that ink at the minute. And then when we go in with pencil, if there's any areas that have dried too dark, I can lighten them up with a white Prisma. That works really well over ink. And I'm not trying to get this uniform, I want him to look like random colours. I mean, at the moment he looks like he's inked himself. like we've scared him and he's inked himself. So I just want that sort of random blend of colours. I really enjoyed doing this yesterday when I was practicing. I thought, oh, why didn't I just turn the camera on and do it then? But I wanted to show you in the book just how awesome this paper is. And I have done layer on layer, as you can see, of wet ink, and there is not a blemish. And if you keep doing wet ink on wet ink, it will go through the page. It takes quite a bit, but as you can see I have done that on this picture, and nothing, no crinkling, no, really is incredible paper. It's quite smooth, there is a tooth, so pencils are going to work great on it. Well, they do work great because I've tried. So I got this book from Amazon. It was a little dearer than normal books, but £16 UK money, which actually for what you get is not a lot of money. Okay, what I missed here was these two little things here, and I'm going to do that in tumbled glass, and I'm just going to dab that on. He's looking cute, isn't he? He looks very dark on camera. I know, he won't be. Okay. What I'm going to do is go off and let that completely dry so that we can see the real colours that we've got, and then we'll come in with pencils and do some more work on him. Alright folks, see you in a sec. Okay, before we go any further guys, I had this thought, and I wonder if we can splatter water on this to make it more oceany in the background. So I've roughly cut a couple of sheets of paper out to protect the octopus. And I've got a spray bottle here, but it lays down too much water, so I'm taking the top off, and I'm going to use this brush, which is a brush for cleaning something out, but any paintbrush will work. This is just experimental. I haven't done, so I won't be using that because it doesn't fit in my water thing. So that's not very helpful, is it? That one doesn't either. Excuse me, bear with me folks. Let's try this one, cheap nylon brush. Let's get some water in there. Okay, so I've got it wet, and I am just going to hold this and splat it onto that background, just so we get proper water drops, and then they can sit there for a minute while I do the rest. Let it soak in. Let's move that to one side. Okay, so I've let it sit. I've taken up a folded up piece of kitchen towel, and then we're going to blot up that water. So I can lift this up now, and let's blot up and just see what happens, just experimenting. It might not do anything because I let the ink dry too much maybe, but it's worth a shot. Should have perhaps done it when the ink was drier because I'm not getting anything up. Maybe it's quite wet, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't do anything if the ink's already dry. I'm going to try again. Let's try here. Oh, I think I can begin to see some spots coming. So maybe it will, I don't know. Let's try that. Let it sit for a sec. Let's try. I'm just experimenting. So it could be that you have to do it while the ink's wet. I'm not sure. Or maybe this paper just doesn't want to play. But it was worth a shot. So I'm just going to put the lid back on this because you know what I'm like, folks. The next thing you'll see, there'll be an inky mess all over the desk. And me crying because I can't finish the colouring. Okay. Right. I've got some Prismacolor pencils that we are going to use to... What is that? Yeah, I've got some Prismacolor pencils that we're going to use to give it a little bit more definition. So I have got Into the Throne Blue PC 208, and we are going to go in where we put this very dark. We're going to step that up. We're going to kind of bring that detailing out because he's got like stripes on him. So we're just going to bring that out. And hopefully we might see my splatters dry. I can see that it's working down here. We're beginning to get a few little drops up here, so that's quite nice. The paper is really thick, so it could be that it's just not an instantaneous thing and I have to be patient, which I'm not. I'm just bringing that Into the Throne Blue in. We are going to go in with a bit of black also. Bring that in. Can you see that Into the Throne Blue change into that gorgeous green colour underneath the pencil? It looks really cool. Okay, then the next colour we're going to use is Parrot Green. Here we go, 1006, and we're going to bring that in and blend that in. Just a little bit as a transition between that very dark blue and then, which I'm missing, I do apologise, I put it away, I don't know why. We're going to use Light Aqua 992, and that's going to bring, we're going to bring that in into that beautiful tumbled glass that we had. Just so all those colours merge. I'm not doing too much work. Just making sure that I've got colour in certain areas. Okay, a bit more of that. I want to break that line up there. Oh, I'm beginning to feel really poorly again now. I think the tablets are running out. My husband's brought me some proper flu ones. But because I'm on blood thinners I can't take ibuprofen. So I have to be paracetamol based only. Which is a bit of a drag. But they're obviously due because I'm feeling really crappy again. It's such a joy. Such a joy to spend your summer holidays feeling poorly. At least I don't have to worry about phoning up and saying I'm not coming in. There's nothing worse. Okay, and then in with that bit of light aqua. And then, before we bring in the pink, I'm going to take white. So just my stubby little white, which is 938. And I'm just going to lighten up some of that area there. A little bit around there. Okay, then we're going to bring in lavender, which is 934. And this is going to give us our pinky purple colour. And I'm not putting in too much. All I'm doing is just defining that blend. Just so we don't lose that the lines on him. So a little bit round his eye. Isn't that cool? Doesn't it work well? Back in with the white. And this will just push and smush all those together. Just lightly, I'm not pressing hard. There we go. What do we need here? I need something around here. So I'm just taking that bit of that parrot green. There we go. Bit of white. Okay. Right, his eyes, I'm going to do orange. You can hear my voice changing again now. I do apologise, sorry. We're going to do in yellowed orange 1002 and canary yellow 916. So taking the yellowed orange, I'm going to do, so I went over with a bit of ink there. I'm going to do orange on this side and orange on this side, and then the canary yellow, and push that out. I've got a tiny bit of blue ink in that eye, but that's okay. A bit more orange. There. Okay, so we'll do, let's have a look at this tentacle while we're here. So back in with the Indian Throne blue, fill in any tiny areas. We are going to put black in, I did say that, we haven't done it yet, but that does make a huge difference. So I'm just kind of letting that fan out. I'm not pressing hard on the page at all, I'm letting the Prisma do it all. So let's take the black and I'll show you. So this is black 935 and I'm just going to give it a sharpen. This is my Dahl 133. Really, really good. My favourite pencil sharpener is the M&R metal one, but sometimes my hands are sore because of the fibromyalgia, and I just can't be fiddling and faffing. The only pencils that I've found that Dahl doesn't work with is my pastel pencils, which incidentally I must get back out. I haven't used them for ages. Okay, then go back in with the Indian Throne Blue and push that out. We can deepen that up even further if you want to. But it does just give that real depth. You know, a little inky image. Okay, right. Parrot green. Bring that out. Okay. Then our light aqua. And then our lilac, and we're going to put that in where we put the lighter spaces on him. For a bit of added interest. Okay, let's bring that white in. Just pull those colours together. Tell you what, the science behind colours and blending them is incredible. I just find it fascinating. I don't know much about it, but I just find it fascinating, all the different tones that you can make. I mean, I think if you sat with paints, you'd never stop being able to mix new colours. There. Okay, so adds quite a bit of difference to that which we need to do around his head. Adds quite a bit of depth to yeah, his head. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, what did I do? Okay, we took the round here. I took the light aqua and blended that into that Kitsch Flamingo colour. We can even put a little bit of that parrot green up the edge. And then back in with our lilac. So cool. Light aqua. And we'll do a little bit of detailing with like gel pen, and I've got some my glitter flakes that I want to use on him. So that really, oh, wrong way. I got it stuck on the, oh, this stupid tripod, bear with me. Sorry folks. That is what it's going to look like, and then we're going to put the shaved ice in the sea around him, and we're going to put white gel pen on so that he gets a little bit of dottage. I did try some other gel pen, but I don't like it. Some white dots on him. So I'm going to go away and finish the pencil work on him, because I think you'll agree it makes a huge difference to him, and then we'll come back and do the fine detail together. One sec. Okay, so here he is, coloured and ready for our embellishments. That's all I'm going to do with him. Isn't he fantastic? I love him to bits. So I am going to take my Arteza gel pen, and this is 0.6, sorry, and we're going to come in. Oh, I've got, oh, I'm so sorry. I've got one of these like swan neck arm things, and as you can see it's sticking on the tripod, the zoom and button. Anyway, we got there in the end. Right, if we look in closely, there are little dots occasionally on this octopus, and we are going to put white gel pen dots on him. Now, on his little, I am going to try and move you, bear with me, just so I can zoom you in. So, occasionally, on his little, we've got his little suckers here, I am just going to dot a bit of white in those. Not all of them, just a few, just so it highlights those. And then, as you can see, these little dots, I'm going to put those in. And I'm just sort of following those and then randomly sticking a few little ones in. I don't want too much, but it does look quite effective. So he's going to be something like that. You see? And then round here he's got some little sucker pads. I'm just going to highlight some of those. So like I say, I can't take credit for the colour scheme for this. All I did was try and match and put my own spin on things with the inks. Try and match the beautiful artwork from the front of the book, which, like I say, I will link in the description box down below. There we go. I don't want to do too much. I'm going to pick his little suckers out this side. Not all of them, just random again, just to highlight that they're there. And then I'm just kind of dotting it instead of drawing big blobs on, because I can then control how much white goes down. What's nice about these over the inks is because inks are water based, they're not picking up the colour of the ink. It's not picking up the colour of the inks. It might over time, I'm not sure, I haven't done enough of it to know. But it's certainly not like turning the colour of the ink we've put down. Isn't that cool? So just enough for added interest. That's my, if you're picking up on that, is my husband coughing in the background. We've both have this awful, it's like it's a cold coming, but it's really horrific on your chest. So my husband's suffering with it too. So apologies if you can hear that. Okay. So I've took my cold and flu medicine and waited for a bit for like my temperature to go down. because I feel like, oh, you couldn't see that, I'm so sorry. I'm just literally following the dots. I'm so sorry. It's because we've zoomed in and I keep forgetting to move the page with you. Yeah, so it feels like my temperature's going down a bit. I keep going really, really hot and feverish, and it's horrible. So what the hell it is, I know it's not COVID, because I've got lateral flow tests from school, so I've been able to do that, and it's definitely not COVID, so don't panic there. Let's do this one. It's just a horrible, I think we're probably all in for it, aren't we, because we're coming out of lockdown. We're all going to pick up things that have been laying dormant, waiting for us. What a joy. Oh, I'm such a bundle of joy tonight, aren't I? I'm sorry. Let's pick out those little tentacles. And then a couple of little dots here, not many. There we go. I'm going to turn him sideways. Oops. My blotting paper. Hang on. Let's put him like this. And then we can dot away happily without me worrying that you can't see. So, yeah. I'm so excited to go on holiday that I hope that I'm recovered well enough that this is completely gone. I've got 9 days until I go, so it should be, God willing, but my husband's had it for a while, and it just sort of, it feels better, and then it sort of comes back. Dottage. I'm loving the gel pens, hence why I brought those bright white jelly rolls, which are incredible. But I got them in broad tip, and I just want some, I don't want big dots, I just want to be able to go from putting, you know, a dot down to tiny little ones, which you can control with this pen. Nearly there, folks. I can't get over how much, I never thought I would, but I can't get over how much I'm enjoying playing with inks. They are such a wonderful medium to work with. And it's just through practice, really. I've watched Zucchini Kitty, like I say, my colouring hero, her and Sammy, obviously. And I've watched her and just practised on scrap bits of paper and... Right, have we got enough? Might need a few more. On that one. And... and a few more up here. Okay, right, I'm going to try and come out and see. Hopefully the camera will let... Oh, it's letting me play now. There we go. Alright. Now, I've got a quickie glue pen here. I've got ink all in my fingernails, and this is by Sakura, and you can get it on Amazon, and it's a glue pen that it says pinpoint roller, and it comes out blue but then dries clear, and we are going to use the shaved ice pieces. What's different about this is, unlike Stickles, this is flat, so when you put it on the page, not that it will matter in this book, but when you put it on the page it's not going to affect, as I understand it, the oh, I do apologise. Let me get a drink. It's not going to affect the page underneath, is what I was trying to say. So we're going to use that, and we're also going to use some stickles, diamond stickles, just because I can. So where the pink is, the highlights on him, I'm just going to run a length of stickles down. Now, I use diamond all the time, and that is because it doesn't matter what colour you use, it will appear that colour when it dries. So I'm just following where the little purple bits are. We're just going to bling him up, just so bits of it catch the light, not all of him. A little bit coming up here. And I've used other glitter glues, but I can honestly say that none of them are a patch on. I think this is it by Ranger? Yeah. None of them are a patch on stickles. So, and you might not be able to see that at the moment. We will when it's dry. A bit more on that side. Okay. So, I don't know if you can pick up on any of that at the minute while it's wet. I don't think so. You will. I might just do a little bit round his eye. Oh, bless my soul. Oh, I do apologise, people. This is awful. Okay, right, let's put some of this shaved ice down. I haven't used this yet, but this is what it is. Isn't it incredible? Now, we can use it as ice, but I also thought it might add some interest into our page here. So I've just put a couple of dots down. Let me just come in. Can you see those blue dots there that I've just put in? They will dry clear. And I'm going to take a pair of tweezers. These are from my diamond painting ones. And I'm just going to pick a couple of flakes up. And we're going to drop them on. And I did, thank you for all your advice when we were talking about using little embellishments on your page. I did pick up a pickup tool for nail art. What I'm going to do is just spread a couple of bits of... Oh, that's white gel pen! No! This is what happens when you're ill and you do stupid things. I'm just going to... I've got extra flakes. So I'm just going to put them in the glue. And let that settle. Okay, so I'm making a mess. I'm going to find this everywhere, aren't I? Then, I did get a few bubbles. I don't know if I didn't put enough water down. That's gel tent again, I need to put that right out of the way. So I'm just putting some random lines down. And we're going to drop these flakes in that glue. And then I'll shake it off when I've done. Aren't they gorgeous? Then I'll just put a piece of paper underneath the page. And we'll pick up that any flakes that are left. There's way too much there. That it won't be as much as that. So up here, I think I'm going to draw some bubbles in. And what I'm going to do is, yeah, here, I'm going to start with a full stop, like that, and then I'm just going to come round, little bubble. Then I'm going to make the next one a little smaller, and then one even smaller. Little bubbles. Why not? Let me get a piece of paper. We can use this scrap that I cut out when we were doing the water. And I'm just going to shake that off. Brush off any excess. And I'm going to put that. Oh my goodness, look at that. Can you see? Ooh. Isn't that incredible? Right, I've got some on the page. So, alright, that's what it looks like flat. So we're going to put a little bit in each of that blue. So I'm just making sure I've got enough glue down. Like that, just randomly. And I'm going to scatter some of this on it. Spread it out. It's fiddly, but it's fun. This is what art projects are meant to be, isn't it? Fun. So I've put way more than I need down, and I'm just going to let that sit in that glue, like that. And we need some up this side. Let's put some here. Let's put some up here. Yeah, let's take it off this page. I shook it off. And then again, I'll shake the page off shortly. Just making sure that I get all that in the glue. You could just use your finger and pick them up, which I might just do. And we could do, I just don't want to overwhelm the page, but I need it to be balanced. So we're just going to put a little bit here by coming up to the bubbles, and then that'll be enough. So I'm just going to put a little bit up here. Hope this works, folks. I do have some craft glue. There. Probably works better with your fingers, look, and I've just sprinkled it on. And just tap it in there. Alright, let's come out. Ooh. Okay. Right. I'm just going to make a mess. I'm just making sure I get rid of any excess by just tapping the page, and that will go back in my pot. Ooh, they're beautiful. Okay, let me just clear this beautiful mess up. No, I'm making it worse. Just going to get a baby wipe. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. Very messy, but gorgeous. Perfect for that Colour in Heaven book with the unicorn fart. Right, put the lid back on that. And then we'll have a look at what it looks like. Okay, so when we bring him in flat, You probably can't see anything much, but if we tilt that in the light, can you see? I've got some up here that will come off. So I'll just brush off where there's... There we go. And here. But I'll wait and let the glue set, and then I'll take off the extra flakes with just a little brush. Because I tell you what it's done, it's stuck to the stickles, didn't it? I forgot that I'd put stickles on. And I've just wiped the stickles off. So that wasn't very helpful. There we go. Let's wipe the nozzle of my stickles. That's why. Because I'd stuck it. But that's okay. Bit of glitz and glam never hurt anyone. Let's take it off there. There we go. I'm going to stop playing because I'm going to wreck him. So, what do you think to those ice? Aren't they clever? Very cool. I've loved this. Thank you so much, folks, for sticking with me and watching. And I apologise for the coughing and the sore throat behaviour. I just wanted to get this out to you because I had a request to flip through this book, and when I looked I thought, I can't resist this. This has to be done. So, I'm waiting for... I had Rachel Mintz's publisher contact me, and they've got a book which you've probably seen that they have offered to let me have to show on the channel. So I will do that with in with all the other gifts that I've been sent, because they obviously sent it to quite a lot of other people too, so there's no point in me repeating a flip through that everybody else has done. So there we are. Anyway, I am going to go and get in bed because I feel really poorly again. Doesn't take much at the minute. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me. Let's just have one more look at that gorgeous ice flakes. Isn't that incredible? I'm so pleased with him, he's lovely. Alright, lovely friends, I will let you go. I will be back in the next couple of days to show the happy mail that I've received and the thoughtful gifts. Thank you for watching and like I say, spending time with me. Until we meet again, take really good care of yourselves. Night night.